And we are live. Hey, Gerald and Tammy, Pamela and Pat. They're already here. Awesome, awesome. We're a couple of minutes early, but that's okay. I'm doing some checks here. There we go. Tiny bit of lag going on. Hopefully it will go away. Hi, Jamie, Susan, Paula. There's our other Pat. Okay, Barb. Um, if you'll message me, I'll shoot it to you real quick. Let me see if I can pull you up in there. Hey, baby girl. My messenger isn't playing fair, Barbara. You'll have to message me. It pops up and then it goes away. All right, guys, I'm going to play the intro and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I want to give a quick shout out to Naomi at EJ Fun Prints. Guys, she has a YouTube channel and she is on Instagram and Twitter if you guys want to follow her. And let's see. You're not sure how to message me, Barb? Okay, I'll look up your email as soon as I get done here and I'll send that to you. So, I believe it was Nemoni. I cannot pronounce her name. It's close to Naomi, but she asked about an explosion box with a cake in it. And if she's watching, she will get the file since she asked if I would do one. All she has to do is message me and get it. She does not have to be a Patreon or Ko-fi supporter because she gave us a inspiration for the week. So if you're listening, I think it was Nemoni or Naomi. I don't know how it's pronounced, but if you want the file, just message me. Excuse me, guys. I've been a little under the weather here. I want to say thank you to all my Ko-fi and Patreon supporters. Little tickle in my throat, guys. I apologize. And to my moderators as well. I appreciate you guys. For any of you that are joining us tonight and haven't been on for a while, we now have YouTube memberships. It gets you access, depending on what tier you're on, to several different things. You get shout outs if you have a page or a business you want me to promote on our top level, our middle level. If you want my files, you can be a YouTube cutie collector level and get those, and you'll also get the little emoticons and all that kind of stuff, and the little badges. You see those beside Jamie's name and mine. Okay, Barb, I'll get that to you shortly. Let me grab some information here. Guys, I got that. If you want to just delete that comment so nobody sees it, thank you. Ooh, no, don't let that out, guys. We don't want to. We don't want tens of thousands of people getting your email, Barb. I got it. I got a screenshot of it. I'll get it to you. Yeah, keep safe. Don't post your personal information in the chat, guys. Um, where was I? Let's see. Oh, the memberships. And if you just want the cute emoticons, things like that, or if you're already a supporter on Ko-fi or Patreon, then you can do the 99-cent level and get those. So just so you guys know. And this is the box. And I'm just going to put it right side up. This is the front of the box, and you can decorate the outside, do whatever you want to do, put something on the top if you want. I did not do that with mine. And when you open it up, you have the explosion portions. And there are places for you to put pictures or sentiments under each one of these. We have the little cake in the center, of course. How cute is that? Great for weddings, showers, birthdays, you name it. Tons of stuff you could use this for. And then you have 4 pockets on all 4 sides for gift cards, notes. You can also put photos on the top. So tons of stuff that you can put in this box as well as inside, because instead of just making this a little cake, I also made them little gift boxes. So you can take them apart. I filled this with candies, but you could put earrings in here. You could put tons of stuff in these guys. Super cute, super easy. You're going to see it goes together so well. I'm just going to arrange my flowers back like I had them. And you can redo this. I don't think that's the way I had them, but that's okay. There we go. Just so they cascade down in whatever form that you want them to do. But this box is super easy and simple to put together. Now, if you are not a supporter, there is a link down below in the description of the video. And you can get the explosion box and the lid and the flowers. They are Design Space images that I used to make this box. The lid was already done, guys. I didn't do that. So you can replace the lid. You'll just need to size it up if you want to do this for a guy or whatever. You might not want to use eyelet and ribbon, so there are lids in there that you can size up to fit. But you can get the base down below. You have to be a supporter to get that cake file, the one with the cake in it. So let's go ahead and put it together. You're going to be surprised how easy it is. Now, I did do some stuff ahead of time, guys, just because my wrist has been bothering me and for time purposes. I did run mine through the Cuttlebug to give it some dimension on these pieces and on the back pieces as well. These both were Paper Studio folders. One was the mum flowers and one was the curl ribbon. I don't know if they're still available, but you can use just any embossing folders that you want. And for those of you who do not know what embossing is, we're going to show you exactly what that does really quick, because I left one that I didn't do. This is how it looked before. Just black cardstock. I am using my Mind's Eye cardstock for this. And I have my Cuttlebug Plate A. And because the Paper Studio embossing folders are a little bit thinner than some of the Cuttlebug folders, and they will emboss without it, but you don't get as nice of a deep emboss. So I folded a sheet of cardstock in half. It's 65 pound. It's just a scrap that I have. And I put that between Plate A and Plate B, just so that it shims it up just a little bit more, because Plate C won't go. And I'm just going to place my cardstock in there about where I want it for my pattern to show. Move it right about there. So that's where I want my pattern to be on there. And I'm placing that embossing folder, and then another Plate B. Okay, and that is your sandwich for doing your embossing. Then you're just going to open up your Cuttlebug if you have one. If not, if you've got a Big Shot or Crafter's Companion, Gemini's, whatever you have, or the Impress, you're just going to roll that sandwich right through the Cuttlebug. And I know you probably couldn't see the handle, but you just crank the handle. We're just going to close that back up. We're going to remove the folder and grab our cardstock, and you can see that it puts that nice embossing and raises that up on there. This is not debossing, it is embossing. So some of you, if you're thinking that the maker will do that, it won't. It will deboss it and depress it, but you're not going to get as deep of a depression as you get with these little machines. So now we have all of our panels embossed. This is the base piece, and I went ahead and I did my Nuvo drops on there ahead of time. You can use rhinestones, whatever you want, glitter, glue, anything that you want to use to get a little bit of decor on it. Okay, so I did that. I have also made up some of my flowers, but I did leave some for us to roll out here and put together so you guys could see how they go together. There are some extra petals in the file. Whether you use them or not is up to you. I didn't find that I needed but like 2. So you can cut those or eliminate those from the file. It's totally up to you, and I'll show you how I use them here in just a second. So I've made the base of my box on 2 of them, okay? And now we're going to make the other base. You'll have a piece like this and 2 circles. And all you're going to do is just kind of roll that cardstock just a little bit. Get a little curve going on it. Again, this is my mind's eye. This is 80 pound, I believe. It may be 100. I don't know. It's my mind's eye, my colors from my mind's eye. And I just bought bulk packs of these. I don't know if it's still available. If not, they've got something available. You can use your Cricut cardstocks too. I just didn't have enough of the colors that I wanted to use. And I've just put glue on that tab. There is a score line here that is just a guide. You don't need to bend that, okay? We're just going to bring that around and we're going to line this up on that score line. Keep it flush at the bottom. I'm just going to hold it for a second and let that dry. And then all of these top tabs, you can bend those over while that's drying. Just going to bend them. And you're going to repeat this process for the other 2 bases. And as always, guys, if you have any design space questions or you need help with something, put it in caps in the chat and the moderators will answer you. And if you still don't understand, we will go on screen and show you. And I have a video that is in editing. I should be releasing it here shortly. It's coming back. I know that I have covered the sound and QR codes before, and it's making a comeback. I've seen 2 or 3 of them in the last month. So I couldn't find which video I did that in, so I just did a short video for referral, and you guys will be getting that shortly. So make sure that you watch that and get a thumbs up on that one too. Should be coming out tonight if I finish editing. You have a right side and a wrong side of your cardstock. You want to put the glue on the wrong side around the edge. And I'm just going to use a baby wipe. I use my mat and I just clean my mat up when I'm done, guys. And you're going to tuck that piece right down inside. And I use my little cheap bone folder that has the curve on it for this, just because it works better for me with round boxes. But you can use any bone folder, or your fingernail. Just going to go in and press that down and press it around. So it's going to look something like this. Then you're going to, if you get any glue on there, you want to wipe it off. You don't want to stick everything. Then you're going to use the right side up and again put your glue on the wrong side of your paper. And this time you want to give it a good amount on the outside and a little bit inside. And you're just going to place that right over that. And you can eliminate that piece really if you want to. I just went ahead and put it on mine because they're going to get glued together. So you won't see that anyway. But I just felt that it made it a little sturdier. So, depending on what you wanted to put in the boxes. I thought it'd be really cute for pairs of earrings. I did my pink one as a Sweet 16 theme. You can put a bow on the top of it, one of the paper bows, or I'm going to set this to the side to dry, or and make a tag, hang a tag from the eyelet holes on the lid. So I went ahead and put Nuvo drops on the top of mine, just random pattern, just swirled them all over. You know how they do the cakes, the what do they call that lace? There's a name for it. Can't think of it. I know it. Anyway, I just swirled the top of my lids so that when I decorated it and stuck it together, the edges would have it. You really don't have to do the centers except on the top one. But I just did them all anyway, just for practice. And again, you have another piece similar to the base. There are some strips in there, and they have little circle holes cut out of them, and that's just a decorative piece. And I went ahead and glued mine on to the base. You want to put it on the end away from your tabs. And then I put my Nuvo drops on there just so that they would be dry. If you want to put your box together and then put that piece on, you totally can. It's the piece that goes right here on the base of these boxes. My flowers have those sticking up because I didn't put it back together, but that's okay. But once they're dry, if you've done it like I have, you're again going to curl it just by pulling it through your fingers. Give it a little bit of a curl. And again, don't bend the tab on this end. You don't need to bend it. It's just a guide. I'm going to bring that up. And don't worry if you have a little bit of a gap right here. I had one on this one. But your flowers are going to cover those seams anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just going to let that grab hold. And while that's drying, we're going to fold over all of our tabs. Goes together exactly the same way as the bottoms do. So I'm just going to dry fit it, make sure it fits in there pretty good. And I got a little, I might have got off of my squirrel line a little bit. Kind of dry fit them in there, guys, to make sure that they fit right. And you can put the glue on the outside and stick it in, and I have been just doing it this way. I found it just as easy, just to squirt some glue up under those tabs. After I did my dry fit, I didn't have to take it out. And then, again, on the outer edge, really good. And in the middle. Just going to place it right on top. Flip it over and give it a little rub. Get that glue distributed and sticking. Make sure that it's stayed center and didn't slide on you. And pay attention to those inside edges. We're just squishing that glue in there to make sure all those tabs get stuck really good. Okay? So then you have your little cake boxes. And I made a boo-boo on this, and I'm just going to tell you guys, when you're doing the bases and the lids, make sure that you don't go over that score line. If you go over that score line, it's going to be a really snug fit. I had to cut a relief cut in this one in order to get it to squish into that box. And I didn't have to do that on these. It fits really well if you put it together correctly. If you miss that score line, it's going to be really snug, and then they're not going to be able to get it open. Okay? And I just didn't have time to remake that top, so. But that's where I made my boo-boo. So next, we're going to take the bases. I'm going to set our boxes to the side, let those dry. We'll work on our flower here in just a minute. Now, one is bigger than the other. And it really matters because I have double-sided paper. So I want the outside of my box on the bigger one to be face down. And then I'm going to fold up all 4 flaps. Take your bone folder and just get a good fold on them, nice and crisp. And then when the box is open, I want the pretty side to be inside. So we're just going to fold those with the pretty side up. Yay, we have a new subscriber. So you're going to do all 4 of those in the opposite direction of the large one. And I do it that way because I made the bases exact so that you wouldn't have to guess if you had it centered. Okay? It will be centered. So we're just going to place some glue, and you can use your tearing tapes or whatever you prefer adhesive. I'm using art glitter glue. Just going to glue that bottom. I'm just going to pay attention to those 4 corners. Don't want glue on that tab. And then I'm just going to plop it down inside, and I'm going to fold these up on both sides, and it should be centered because the bases are exactly the same size. And that will keep it slid where it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to take my little square decorative piece and you can cut this an eyelet, or you can do like the round doilies in Design Space. Those would be super cute in here for the round cake too, but I went with the square for mine, just so it would peep out more. So that's basically all we have there. I'm going to plug in my glue gun real quick, guys, because we're going to use it for the flowers. Not much, just a few drops. And I think I got that on there crooked. Guys, make sure you get yours straight. It's not off too bad. I can live with it. So now we're going to take our panels for the back, and they are the ones without the eyelet arch. Okay. Just going to put some glue on all 4 of those. And if you want to make pockets out of these, guys, you can. You can make and have 8 pockets in here. Instead of gluing the whole thing, like I just did, you can just come right around this side, down across the bottom, and down across this side, and glue it in there, and then that's going to create a pocket for this one too. But I thought these would be cute with photos or notes or something like that on them. And all I'm doing is folding that back, and I'm bringing it down to the base of that and just making sure it's centered on both sides. That way we have the peep of the dark color coming through. Okay. And you're going to do that on all 4 of them. Yeah, the embossing adds a lot to your cards, guys, and your boxes. And this is all in one. This is a gift card box, everything. Put your gift cards in here, put notes. Should have done one of these at Valentine's. It would be cute with a little heart-shaped box in the center. I almost did a square cake when I tried it. I didn't like it, but if you guys like the squares, you can use square boxes in here. I just like the round. It just looks so much better. Yay, we have another subscriber. Welcome, welcome. And now we're going to do our pockets. And again, we're just going to go right here on the edge and down along the base. Just a thin line. You don't need a whole lot. And down this edge. None across the top. Then we're just going to place those right down on the top of each one of these 4 sides. And the more further in you get, the smaller your pocket's going to be. So try to stay right there on those edges. I like to kind of stand it up and make sure that that card is coming right up to that fold line. Helps keep it straight too. Yeah, I do too, Jamie. I love, and I mean, I have a ton of embossing folders, and I will slap a panel on my card and then go, why did I do that? Why didn't I emboss it? You know, by then it's too late. You can't get it off there, and it's got glue on it. So all of that needs to be done before you start assembling, and then you don't forget. And you can use tearing tapes and stuff like that here too. So now we have our base basically done. It's done except for our cake. We're going to start with, I put mine together, and I'm going to decide, you can decide, right now it doesn't really matter if you have a front back or if you made a boo-boo back here or something, make that your back. And I like to make all of my seams for my box go to the back. So it's back there. Doesn't matter on the lid because you get to move those. I'm just going to put some glue all on the base. And we're just going to center that up. And then remove the lid. Just give it a little bit of a rub. Squish that glue around. And then putting that there, I did put my seam to the back there. And let's just do the same here. Take this base. Seam to the back. And I'm going to line that seam up with the seam on this lid. So we're just going to squish it down. And you don't want to put too much pressure here, guys, because you don't want to collapse the lid of the box below. But you want to move that glue around and distribute it and make sure that you've got it good and centered. Okay? So now we have that one done. I'm just going to put that lid right on there, back to the back with that one. And then my goof up one. I really should have recut the whole top piece after I messed up, but I didn't. Didn't have time. So I'm just going to put that seam to the back again. Center it up. And I'm just going to force that lid down on there. And now our cake is on there and it's ready to be decorated. One second, let me move my embossing folders out of my way. There we go. Now I have a little elbow room. Corinne, we're making a, oops, I just dumped all my candies on the floor. We are making an explosion box. Hopefully, there it is. I dropped chocolate on the floor and my dog will go for it. But it's like a cake explosion box. It's not supposed to explode that way. But I'm just catching up on chat and reading some questions, guys. What are we adding? What are we adding, Jamie? You should have put pockets in yours. Yeah, you can add them. Jamie, just cut another one smaller because you have plenty of room on these. There's plenty of space. Super cute and easy. Now we have our lid. I'm just going to let those dry for a minute. Guys, I did not design this lid. And I did have to do some modification on it because I used ribbon. And I'll show you here. You're going to fold all 4 of those tabs and then, of course, along the top on all of your scores. Okay, and you see these tabs, if you fold them over to the inside, they are clear of the cutouts. But if you put them over here, they hang out. If you've got your lid square, it blocks part of that hole. So all I didn't change it in the file because some of you may not be doing that. I just snipped off just a little sliver, not much, on each one of the 4 tabs, just so it wouldn't hang out in that eyelet hole. So just snip that off. And if you want to slice it in your file, you can do that. We're just going to glue those 4 tabs to the inside. Yeah, I'll show you guys in just a second. We'll do this one and make it open up once we finish putting it together. And now I'm just going to let that dry before I start putting my ribbon in there, so we don't have to worry about pulling it apart. So you have 3 of each size flower in this file, and I know a lot of you have seen us do the rolled flowers, but some of you may not, so we're going to go through it. And I did use cardstock for mine. And because I used cardstock, it's very stiff. If you use 65-pound paper for your flowers, you're just going to roll them up. But I'm pinching mine as I roll it on these little ones because the cardstock is so thick. I'm just kind of breaking it down and just pinching it as I roll. That way I get a good jump on the flower shape. Just going to keep rolling. This is the small one. Right to the end. And I'm just going to fold that little circle piece over. I'm going to let it relax a little bit. And then I'm just going to take a little drop of hot glue right there. And I'm just going to pull that and push it down in there. I'm not worried about bending or breaking down the cardstock. Doesn't matter because we're going to bend it anyway. And just going to roll out some of the outer petals. And you can do these with your fingers if you're having a hard time getting to your tool, getting your tool in there on it. You can use different tools to help you curl those edges over. You don't want this one to be too spread out. You want it to be smaller. And I just kind of use my fingernails and go in there and just kind of bend back the edges of some of those inner petals, but I want it to remain tight, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that. Then we've got our second one. And again, I'm just going to pinch that center, which is where you start, is your center. And I'm pinching this one as well as I go around. Now, if you're using 65-pound paper, you may not need to do that. Probably roll pretty good. Yeah, you can put money in there. I had another idea I thought of last night, and now I've forgotten it. There's just so many things that you could do and stick in there. Money, candies, earrings, any kind of jewelry, necklaces. And on the medium one, I'm just kind of fluffing it back out because I've used cardstock. It's kind of stiff. So I just kind of fluffed it out a little bit. And again, a little bit of hot glue on that little circle piece. And then I'm just going to press the center down until it's stuck. Not to my finger, but it did. Got my low temp going. And then I'm just going to, again, roll back some of the petals. And you can use any of your quilling tools, any tools that you have, whatever you have, you could use that for this. I'm just using like a paper piercing tool here. Just rolling back. I have glue all over my hands. And I'm just going to roll back a little bit deeper into the flower than I did on the miniature one. Just get it to spread out a little bit more. If you can't get in there, use your tools and grab them around. Cardstock's a little stiff. It's a little more difficult to work with, but I liked the color. And for the type box it is, they work. So there, I got that one spread out a little bit more than I did the other. You can see that. And now we've got our large one. And I want that center really tight. So I pinched it up, and then I'm just going to roll. Not really pinching that one. And then we've got our little round tab. I'm going to let that one spread out a pretty good bit, okay? And I'm not worried about the center, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So I've got that one spread out pretty good. A little bit of glue. I'm going to stick that, and I want that center to stick down. Not to me, but... And you can see how much that one is spread out and how that center is not really good and formed. And that's what the extra petals, that's what I use them for. And I'm just going to roll this around to get it rolling. Then I'm going to make a really tight center using one of those extra petals. Roll it really tight. Then I'm going to measure it. Stick it in there. Pretty good. The height is good. So I'm just going to put a little glue on that and press that right down in the center. And that's going to tighten that center up a little bit for me. Okay? And you can use them to make buds with if you want more, to use it for decor. And we're just going to roll our outside petals. And you're just going to repeat that with the other. Like I said, there's 3 of each size. And you're just going to get all your flowers ready. My hand is cramping, so I can't grab hold of it like I really want to. Jamie, they just take a little bit of practice. Don't be scared that they're going to mess up. I have petals that, some flowers I just take and wad up the flower. I mean, I literally just cut them, pull them off the mat, and wad them up, and then undo them and put them together, and they look great. I just can't get that to work. My carpal tunnel is kicked up this morning, and I've had my braces. I've been wearing braces all day long. But this is really impossible to do with my brace on. I'm just rolling a good deal more of those petals and bringing them way back in here. Was going to fill that in. If you don't get them tight enough, it's going to help fill that in, and it's going to spread that flower out. Some of them I roll straight, some of them I roll just one side, some of them I roll one side one way and one the other. Like so. And then that center, I'm just going to fold that one back a little bit. And there you have it. So now all of our flowers are done. And then you've got some leaves in that file. I did not measure those because I'm probably going to cut them up. They were an afterthought on the first one, so they weren't in that file. And I just added these. And you're going to need some ribbon. These are like AC Moore. I get these at Tuesday morning in the packs. They're like $3 or $4, and you get about 20 or 30 colors in some of them. It depends on the pack. Some of them just have like 18. If I can get that. There it is. Pull that plastic off of there. And I'm just going to cut off a piece of it. There, I think there's like 48 inches on them of ribbon. And I started at the corner and just went down, because I'm not going to thread this whole thing and make you guys watch me weave this in and out. But I start at the corner so that it wraps the corner like this. And then go in and out all the way around. You want to stop in the center. Well, maybe I should show you guys, because I did the front a certain way where the bow ends up. So you guys can tell me what you're working on. I'm just going to wring that ribbon in and out all of these little eyelets. Maybe I can explain, because this is, to me, takes longer than most of the whole project. So I'm just going to show you guys. So once you've got it ran all the way around, in and out, and then you're going to come up, let's see if I can get it to go in one corner instead of doing the whole thing. If I can get it around this corner here, maybe. You're not going to do it this way. You're going to weave yours in and out, all those eyelets. There we go. And we're just going to pretend that we are now at the center, and you have this one inside, and then this one is inside. Okay? So both of your ribbons are at the end. This is the front of your box. You're going to take one of them and bring it up beside the other. Okay? Just bring it right up into the next hole, right up beside it. I hope you guys can see this. I probably should have used a white ribbon to show you. Oh well. You're going to push it in there and bring it up so it's on top, and then you're just going to scooch it down and bring the other one up right up on top of it, and it will work. You can see maybe right here, but they're both to the front. Then you're just going to tie your slip knot and you're good to go. But many of you have probably already done that, but you're just going to weave that ribbon all the way around and then tie your bow in the front. So we're pretending that I've done that. Next, we're going to take our 3 large flowers, and you're going to look and see how you want to arrange them on the top. Okay? And I kind of did like a trifold, and the way that I did mine is I just went in on one of my flowers, and then I kind of sat it on there and put the other one next to it to position them like I wanted. I'm not gluing them to the top yet, just to each other. And I like the way that that was sitting. And then I'm going to take the third one, put a little glue on it, and bring it in, just gluing it to the other 2. Okay, and we're just going to hold those in place and let that glue sit. And while that's doing that, I'm going to decide where I want my leaves And I'm probably just going to do 3 out of the center. Just like so. I'm just going to plop one down. Just enough to stick out. And I'm not worried about where they land with the flowers. It can be in different spots. It can be under it. It can be picking out between the two. Any of that. And now I'm just going to put some hot glue right on the top. I'm going to plop my flowers right down on top of it. And I just got lucky. They are in between each one of mine, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so now we have that top piece done, and all of the large flowers are on that. You want to be careful on these next steps because you don't want to glue hot glue to your base, because you don't want to glue you want to basically pull it up here after you've figured out where you want it, so that you're not gluing your lid to the bottom, because if you do, you're not going to get it open. So I'm just picking a couple, seeing how I like them, which way I want to go, which direction I want to go down the side of it. And I'm going to take one of my mediums, and you can cut more flowers too, guys. I'm just going to kind of stick it right here at the side on the top. So it's on the top piece too, right there. Just going to hold it till that glue dries, or hardens, I should say. And then I'm going to take one of the small ones, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that and glue it to the lid rim. And if you want, I didn't do it, but you can do it on your seams. That's where it's supposed to go, and I forgot. I just started sticking them down. Should be going down your seam, not like me. Just going to hold that till it hardens up. Don't need to worry about your leaves on these yet. And then I'm going to take my medium one, and I'm just kind of bringing it around to the side, and I'm going to glue that one. And now I'm doing another medium one, and I'm going to glue it to the purple strip only, not to anything else. I don't want to glue my box together. And just like that. If you're afraid it's going to be close, you can pull it off just like I did. Glue here from where I put the flower together. So now I have that one, and I have another medium and another small. So I'm going to decide if I want it here. Kind of like for it to end right there in that corner with this medium one. And then another small one right there. Yep. So just play with it. Get it like you want it. I'm taking the small one, and I'm just going to place it right there on the lid. And then my last one. Right there. Just like that. How cute is this? And then you can go in with your different size leaves and start tucking them in. If I can get a hold of them. And I kind of use them, guys, to hide my hot glue where I glued them to the box. And just place them randomly. They don't have to be exact or perfect. Just stick them wherever you think you need one. Just don't glue your box together. And don't forget the other side. You want to put some on the other side too. Just little pops of color with the green. I think I'm going to tuck one right down in between the two flowers here on the base. And you can curl those or don't curl them. That's totally up to you. How cute. How stinking cute is that? And then you're going to close it up after you have all your goodies and your gift cards and your notes or your photos in there. And you can even do tags with some ribbons sticking out of these ends, guys. You're just going to fold it up. And you do want to make sure that your cake is turned. You have a little bit of a corner here. That's going to be your front. You want that last rose right there in that corner. And then you're going to take, we don't need all those glue hairs, do we? I got hot glue on the edge of my, there it goes. And then your lid with your ribbon, of course, with the bow in the front. And that's going to hold it shut. Okay? And then when they uncap it, it pops right open. You're searching for charms, Roberta? Yeah, that would be cute too. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff, guys. You could do little, it would be so cute to do like a 3-tier cake with the teal and the yellow and pink or blue and put a little rubber duck on the top instead of roses or rattlers. You can do all sorts of things. However you see a cake decorated at the store, you can do that to these. Just like making a real cake, Jamie. That's exactly right. So whatever you see, you can do. You can recreate any kind of cake that you want. You can use this for any occasion. Any occasion whatsoever. Yes, thank you, Sue. Yes, please invite. So does anybody have any questions on the explosion box and how it goes together? Again, the file for the base and the lid is free for everybody, but if you want the cake, you have to be a supporter. And you can be on Ko-fi monthly, not one time, but monthly on Ko-fi. You can be on Patreon, or you can be on the YouTube Cutie Collector tier, and you can get the files. Just make sure you do your ribbon. I'm just not going to hold you guys up and make this video longer because it took me about 15 minutes to do my lid. So I'm not going to hold you up and make you do that. But if you get stuck and you can't figure out how to do this, message me and I'll walk you through it. I love it. I just love this little box. It's so cute. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Ko-fi supporters. Thank you, Patreon supporters. Thank you, YouTube membership supporters. Couldn't do this without you guys. I am going to get off of here. Does anybody have anything that they want to see for Wednesday? Any suggestions? Please message me. Let me know. If you want to do iron-on, if you want to do vinyl. I know you guys see tons of iron-on and vinyl, so I have kind of been sticking to paper for you guys on the lives. But if you want me to change it back up, you let me know. Donna's on level. There is only one level on Patreon. There's only one level on Ko-fi. On YouTube, you have to be on the Cutie Collectors level, at least. Which is the middle level on YouTube. There should be a join button. You guys should be able to see a join button there. A St. Patrick's wreath, Paula. Okay, I can see if I can come up with something for that. Oh, you're welcome, Catherine. Thank you for your help. All right, guys, I will see you Wednesday at 7 p.m. I am going to go and edit that video and pop that up for you guys. So any of you that are interested in the shadow box or signs with the QR code and the voice waves, you'll want to check that one out. And I will catch you Wednesday.